It's time to get inside the Giants huddle.
Huddle up, huddle up, huddle up.
On Giants.com.
Here we go, here we go.
And the Giants mobile
Get
app.
them in there, let's go.
Part of the Giants Podcast Network.
Welcome to another edition of the Giants Huddle Podcast. From now until training camp, we'll have a series of player interviews. We've split them up by position to kind of give you a feel of where this Giants team is heading into training camp of 2022. Just as a reminder, you can find the Giants Huddle Podcast on your favorite podcast platforms, on the Giants mobile app, and at giants.com/podcasts. Now we're going to talk to a set of Giant wide receivers: Sterling Shepard, C.J. Board, Kadarius Toney, Darius Slayton, and rookie Wan'Dale Robinson. Let's lead off with the vet, Sterling Shepard. And now we're joined by Giants wide receiver Sterling Shepard. Sterling, first of all, you're bouncing around here doing this. We're about the end of minicamp here.
Yep.
How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling great. I've been working my tail off with the training staff, doing everything that they asked of me, and doing a little extra on my own as well.
I'm sure you heard nightmares about rehabbing an Achilles injury. Has it matched what you were told? How's it gone?
Yeah, man, it just kind of gets overwhelming at times. You know, you're doing the same thing over and over again. And you can get lost in it, or you can just fall in love with the process, and that's just what I've been trying to do, is just fall in love with it and gain the strength back.
Was the beginning part of it tough, where you can't really do anything, you need to let it heal, and you can't quite rehab right away?
Yeah, that was the really tough part. I mean, you can't walk around, so you're upset about that. You can't get fresh. You got to put on one boot and then a shoe, and picking up marbles was terrible. So with my toes, yeah, that was the terrible part about it. But we're well past that.
All right, I'm not going to ask you to put a timetable on it, but do you have goals? When can fans start thinking about Sterling Shepard? What's your outlook?
Yeah, I'm just taking it one day at a time, to be honest. I'm not trying to look too far ahead. Like I said, I've been listening to the training staff and Ronnie and those guys. They know best, so just kind of going with them day by day.
Did you call anyone, former teammates, friends in the league, about how to approach this so you can make it back 100% and maybe not go too fast?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to some guys that actually did it, like a month before me. Marcus May is one of my buddies, and I talked to him a little bit. Also talked to Kevin Durant right when I did it, on surgeons and which way to go with that. And I've just been watching a lot of videos of guys that came back from it, and it seems like everybody has made 100% recovery. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, if you can come back like KD has, I think you'll be good.
Right.
He's been pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, how about this offense? You've been kind of in it now. You've been learning.
Mm-hmm.
You've been through a lot of offenses in your time here.
Yeah.
Does it remind you of anything that you've been through either in college or here so far?
A little bit of college, but anything in the NFL, it doesn't compare to that. I mean, it's a ton of verbiage. So that's the tough part about it. But whenever you get it down, you can tell that it has potential to be explosive offense. As long as we do what we're supposed to do and come to practice with the attitude of getting better every day.
Everyone tells me the playbook's really thick.
Oh yeah,
it's thick.
Yeah, and it's a lot of one words. So like you have to know the formation, you have to know the play concept, all in one word. And so that's where it gets pretty tough. Is usually you have a full play concept and they'll read out everything to you. Well, this is just one word and you have to remember it. So
wow, okay.
Yeah.
Have you been able, you think, to absorb a lot of this, even though you haven't been able to necessarily do it on the field, but you're doing it in the classroom?
Yeah, it's tough, man, because that's where you really learn, is on the field. So that's been tough for me, but I've been doing a lot of walkthroughs. Coach Dabo makes sure that I go through the walkthroughs and go through extra walkthroughs after everybody leaves. So I'm starting to get it down. Just been in the classroom a lot.
Are you visualizing what you could do in this offense when you're finally healthy?
Yeah, man, I visualize all the time. So I've been doing a lot of that.
Give me a feel of what your role could be in an offense like this.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been that slot guy. But I'll be able to mix and move around. I've been, through my career, I've been outside for a couple of years, been inside. So it's good to have that on my resume. You can move me pretty much anywhere.
I don't want to give out any state secrets, but I know one thing we haven't done here a lot with the Giants since you've been here is there has never been a ton of pre-snap motion, right? It's nothing that we've done a lot.
Right.
Just watching practice.
Oh, man.
This guy's moving all over the place.
Yeah. Moving parts all day long. And, it kind of gets overwhelming, whenever you look at the motion list, too. Like, they have it broken down on our iPad. So you look at the motion list, there's so many different motions that you could do. And it'll be good getting a lot of our playmakers moving around. It's going to be tough on defenses.
How does that help an offense and a guy like you when there is some of that pre-snap motion?
Yeah, it's good because you get a man zone read is the number one thing, and this offense is all about playing fast. So anything that you can catch a niche on what the defense is about to do is good. So those are what the motions are really for, is getting those man zone reads.
So how has Brian Dable and Mike Kafka been to work with?
Great so far. I talk to Dable damn near a couple times a week.
I always see him on his phone, man. He's always calling somebody.
Yeah, he's always calling somebody. Shoot, I talk to him all the time. Play a little golf too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How about your wide receiver coach, Grow?
Love him, man. He's a good guy. Over the short time that I've been with him, definitely making sure that guys are on point with what the playbook asks for. And, you get them on the field as well. I've been getting to see some of the drills that the guys have been doing and the way that he breaks them down. Definitely a player's coach.
All right, final question. You've been, like I said, we've been through a lot of head coaches here. You've been here since 2016.
Yeah.
Anything that you've seen so far from this new regime that makes you think, yeah, you know what? This is going to work. This is going to be good.
Yeah. I think the way that they approach every day, I mean, it's a big sign on our board and it says be a pro. And as long as you can trust guys to be a pro, which we have a great group of guys in this locker room, then I think we'll be fine. And they've reiterated that to us. We're going to let you guys have fun, and that's what this is about. At the end of the day, it's a game. You know what I mean? I know it's serious and it's our job, but you got to have fun with it. And they do a good job of mixing in fun but being serious as well.
Yeah, it seems like everyone is having fun, though, and it seems like the offense itself is going to be fun, like explosives, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it has potential for a lot of big plays and has some fancy plays in there as well. So I think the fans will love it, and we just got to keep doing our part and putting in the work.
Good stuff, Shep.
My man.
Sterling Shepard.
All right.
Don't miss your chance to experience a premier hospitality experience watching Giants games and world-class concerts in 2022 as a Giants suite partner. Limited full-season locations are available, or place a deposit for individual games. Call 888-NYG-1925 or visit giants.com/suites for more information. Now we're joined by Giants wide receiver Darius Slayton. Darius, we've had Shep here, we've had Kadarius Toney here, we've had C.J. Board here, and they all expressed to me the challenging nature of the new playbook.
Yeah.
Could you just kind of explain to me what makes this playbook a little bit different than maybe some of the other ones you've been into in your time in the NFL?
Probably the biggest difference is just the verbiage. There's a lot of terms that mean a lot of things, and there's not always – normally what helps you with NFL playbooks is they try not to make it rocket science. They try to make patterns, which our playbook has some patterns, but there's definitely some that it's just straight. You got to remember it, and there's not going to be very many keys to help you remember.
So it's a lot of straight memorization where this equals that, and there's no hints to kind of help you along.
There is, for a good amount of it, there is, but it's just for those, couple of one-offs. You never know what they're going to call. So, you got to know those just as well as you know the others.
Well, playbook aside, just in terms of what you're trying to accomplish on the field, how much different is this offense than what you've been in so far in the NFL?
Definitely like the pace. I definitely think that he wants us to move fast in and out of the huddle, obviously play fast, but more so just our operation in and out of the huddle is definitely sped up a good bit compared to previous years. But, I'm looking forward to it. It seems like an offense that allows you to play fast. You have a lot of options, so obviously it's good for receivers the more options you have.
When you say a lot of options, what do you mean by that?
Just as far as like decision making, like ability to kind of show your personality in playing ball, I guess you could say.
It's funny you say that because Kadarius was here and he expressed the same exact thing to me, which is why I asked you the question. And in other systems that have been here, we've seen, all right, well, you have to be here in 3 seconds. It's about timing. You have to be there. But then, for example, when Kevin Gilbride was here, way before you were here, there were a lot of options routes, right? Well, you know what? If this guy's showing you outside leverage, then you do this. If he's going inside leverage, you do this. Press, you do this. Are they giving you that type of flexibility based on what coverage they're showing you? You can make that side adjustment with your quarterback to achieve what you're trying to achieve?
Yeah, we definitely have some more of that than we've had in the past, for sure.
Is that exciting for you?
Of course, because it kind of allows you to it kind of puts the ball in your court, so to speak, as a player. It's kind of on us to mess it up, because if we don't make the right decision, we get covered. It's nobody to blame but yourself. So, obviously I think that's kind of position you want to be in, though, as a player.
And imagine getting on the same page with the quarterback then becomes even more important, right? Because if you're reading one thing, he has to read the same thing. Otherwise, that could get problematic very quickly.
Correct. But at the end of the day, defense is defense. So if cover 3 is cover 3, so if I see this cover 3, he's going to see this cover 3, and we're both going to think the same thing.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely there's always growing pains in every offense, no matter what it is. But, obviously we've got time to get it down, and, I'm optimistic.
How about for you? Where were you trying to, improve the most and make the biggest jump heading into this year?
I've been in 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've kind of got some good years under my belt. I've played a lot of ball. I've seen a lot of ball. Just continue to grow as a player, both mentally and physically. I think there's always things that you could work on with your route technique, or obviously we catch the ball for a living. So it's like, Steph Curry shoots a bazillion threes. Well, I should probably catch a bazillion balls, if I want to be that good one day. So just little details of the craft.
Was last year a little frustrating for you, trying to get through it? It seemed like there wasn't the overall production obviously wasn't what it was, the prior season.
Yeah. I think it was a little frustrating for everybody. Obviously the way
fair.
The way the season went, I would probably say it was frustrating for everybody. But for me individually, I try to just keep everything in perspective, and just play ball and just focus on playing ball. Obviously I didn't put up the numbers I wanted to put up, but at the end of the day, I just try to control what I can control.
How do you think you can fit into this offense? How do you think it's going to utilize your skill set? Do you see the opportunity coming where you're going to be able to reach back to that production that you were at before?
Yeah. I think we've done a great job of spreading the ball around already. Even in the springtime, the ball's seen a lot of different sets of hands. So, obviously, like I said, it kind of puts the ball in your court. It makes you feel like if you get open, you'll be the one getting the ball. So that's kind of the approach I'm taking, make sure I'm always the guy that's open, and then I'll hopefully get the ball more.
Do you feel like the passing game is kind of getting to a good point where you can hit the summer and training camp, rolling in the right direction?
Yeah, for sure.
Final question. You're going up against a defense that's very aggressive, plays a lot of man-to-man defense.
Yeah.
What has it been like going against a lot of that press coverage, a lot of that man-to-man, and what should Giant fans be excited about when they see this defense hit the field next year?
I think they should be excited about the fact that we've got a lot of young, talented players on defense that like to play fast, that want to play fast and aggressive, and frankly, that are annoying to play. When
How are they annoying?
When you have good players that are football smart guys and play aggressive, it makes them difficult to beat. So, I definitely think that's something the fans should be excited about. The fact that we're able to challenge them as a defense, they're able to challenge us as an offense in practice is only going to make us better.
Can't wait for the Pats to get on to do it for real.
No doubt, for sure.
We can't wait to see it in July. Thanks, Les.
Yes, sir.
And now we're joined by Giants second-year wide receiver Kadarius Toney. KT, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Blessed to be here.
All right. Well, Giant fans are excited to see you on the field. You've been on the side mostly here in spring. Do you expect to be full go by training camp? Most importantly,
yeah, by training camp. Yes, that's the timetable of everything that's going on. Training camp. I'm looking forward to be out there with the players and the coaches and letting everybody know that I'm here to work.
Now, we had Shep here, and he said, man, this offense, there's a lot of stuff in there,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
So what has it been like trying to learn it without being able to rep it on the field as much as you would like?
I would say it's been kind of challenging, but I would say a lot of time get put aside for us, like Dave's, Mike, like everybody, pretty much like everybody put the time in to make sure that we know what we're doing, no matter if we're on the field, off the field, or whatever. But it's challenging, though. I sit and say it's challenging. You just gotta, when it comes to that, you just gotta be a pro.
For a guy, does it remind you of any offense you've been in before, or no?
Yeah, kind of Florida, just like the way that you like have leeway in route running and stuff like that.
When you say leeway in route running, what do you mean by that?
You're able to just win. You don't have to run the I guess the pen and paper version of your route every time.
Oh,
a lot of offensive coaches, they have like the pen and paper mentality, like you have to run it exactly like that every time. But Dave, he gives us a lot of freedom, gives us a lot of leeway to win, matter of fact, because I mean that's the object of football, to win. So he just gives that option. So
yeah, because back in the day, way before you got here, we had Kevin Gilbride here, right? This is when the Giants were winning the Super Bowl in 07 and 11.
Trying to bring that back.
And he had a lot of option routes, right?
Yeah.
So basically, all right, if you're in the slot, if the corner's playing you on the outside leverage, well, then you're going in.
Yeah,
if
you
you play an
break
outside,
in.
inside leverage, then you're going out. Is it that
set in
type of deal?
stone. Yeah. In other words, it's not a set in stone, like where no matter which way the cornerback playing, you have to run that route. Like that's kind of like how a lot of offenses are ran.
So I guess then, take this to the next level then, it's very important then for the receivers and the quarterbacks to be able to read those corners the same way, right?
Yeah, definitely. You definitely got to be on the same page with the quarterback and even the other receivers because everybody have their own, landmark on the field. No matter what play it is, what if it's a running play, you supposed to almost probably be out of bounds just to get out the running back way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always some or a job to be done, and it just give us a more efficient way to do it.
How do you see your role in this offense? How do you see yourself fitting in?
I see a lot of stuff probably being used. I see a lot of stuff being brought out. I really can't speak on too much because
I don't want you giving away state secrets now. Yeah, because then I'm in trouble too.
Yeah, can't give up too much.
I got you.
I think I'm gonna have probably like a versatile role. I feel like yeah.
The one thing I've noticed, you mentioned it reminds you of Florida a little bit.
Yeah.
The pre-snap motion, man. It's a lot of college feel to it, right?
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of feel to it. It's all about really the execution. Like you can have the feel, but it's like all about the execution. You go out there and do it the way it's supposed to be done. Like you won't have to question anything.
Now, when you have a lot of that, pre-snap motion, which is trying to make the defense's eyes move and stuff like that, how does that help open up things for a guy like you who can, get a handoff, do a quick pass, go deep?
Basically get a feel of what the defense kind of giving you, you know what I'm saying, from a man zone standpoint, what you can take advantage of. Mainly, that's where I'll be able to, okay, they're playing this coverage. I'll be able to go to this and run this route, sit right there, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could do stuff like that, but it's all about game plan.
What was your big goal this offseason for where Kadarius Toney wanted to become a better football player?
Probably take 2 steps forward. You know what I'm saying? Be more of a more of a pro. Because last year I was a rookie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're just on the stat sheet or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I guess you could say as far as like just getting the experience and stuff like that. That was my biggest thing last year.
How frustrating was last year for you? Because, it wasn't like one injury that got you the whole year. It's like, okay, shoulder, ankle, knee. It just seemed like something new just kind of kept popping up, right?
Facts. It was frustrating, but at the end of the day, I knew it was all part of the plan, like, for the longer future. You know what I'm saying? I guess this year, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, went through stuff last year. How you going to shape back the next year? You know what I'm saying? That's why I look at it as probably just adversity. I don't really look at it as like it was a good or a bad thing at the end of the day. Probably just adversity. Everybody faces adversity. Is
there anything you can do to try to stay healthy, or is that just luck?
It's a lot of stuff you could probably pretty much do, which I'll probably, not probably, but which I'll be doing, but I can't say and guarantee that it's going to work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
of course.
Yeah, it's all based on, I guess, what you're doing out there, too, because probably unnecessary hits probably got most of, like, I think, like when I messed up my ankle, I think I was out of bounds, and they just, you know what I'm saying, pulled me in.
What are you going to do?
And I got rolled, so it was like, can't really do nothing about it, but just try to, I guess, persevere through it all.
Have you set goals for yourself in your second year, certain things you want to achieve? I don't need numbers or anything like that, but what are some of the things that you really want to get better at and achieve in your second year?
Really everything. Really everything. It's like I just want to be a whole nother player when I step out there. Really. Have you
showed Dable your arm? Made sure he knows about your ability to throw the ball a little bit?
Yeah. He know.
What has it been like working with Mike Kafka, the offensive coordinator?
Man, it's really been like a dream come true, honestly, because it's like really, I don't know, it's like a lot of stuff you can't just ask for, it just be given, and then he's just a gift. You know what I'm saying? They just happen to land here, I guess you could say, him and the ball and Joe, for that matter. Just a blessing to really just be here to work up under them.
Do you like the whole new vibe of the new coaching staff and everything?
Yeah, I like the vibe, like the way they talk, the way, like, I ain't gonna lie, it's a whole nother atmosphere this year than it was last year. Like, it's pretty good.
You seem very excited to play.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm ready to get back on the field.
KT, man, good stuff, man.
Thank you.
Kadarius Toney, Giants wide receiver.
Giants season tickets are on sale now for the 2022 season. In addition to ticket savings, membership benefits include access to exclusive events, experiences, pre-sales, and more. You can lock in your seats starting at just $100. Call 888-NYG-1925 or visit Giants.com/tickets for more information.
And now we're joined by Giants wide receiver CJ Board. CJ, how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. All right, give me the lowdown. What has it been like trying to learn this offense?
It's been awesome. There's a lot of stuff that's in this offense, and I think it's good for us, a lot of moving parts and a lot of different positions for each of us receivers, so it's been good.
I know coaches handle this differently. Are you guys learning every single wide receiver spot, or do you guys have specific roles? How's it working?
For the most part, I think they want us to know everything, and then they kind of put us in specific spots for now, and then it's just good to know all the positions. So like whenever the plays are called, and we can be in any spot and get it done.
Now I got to imagine that's challenging. We had Sterling sitting down with us a few minutes ago,
Yeah.
and he said the playbook's thick.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like one word, and you have to know everything. Can you kind of explain to me how that works?
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of stuff that's in this playbook, and like you said, it's all one word stuff that shows a full concept. So it's just honing in on memorizing and knowing what to do in each position. So it's a lot. It is a lot. So, but it's packed full of good stuff that's going to help us.
Does it remind you of any other offense you've been in?
Not really. This is probably the most extensive offense that I've been in for sure. And it's been challenging so far, but it's also been good because it opens up a lot for us to do. So it's awesome.
And with some of the injuries you've had at wide receiver in the offseason so far, Kenny's been in and out,
Yep.
Sterling and Kadarius trying to make their way back. You've had a chance to have a lot of reps with Daniel and Tyrod. How's that been going?
Oh, it's been great. I've been here for a little bit with Daniel, so that chemistry's there. And I actually played with Tyrod in Cleveland a little while back. So it's been good so far. I think getting a ton of reps, especially in this offense, is only going to help. So.
Is it important for you? Because I know some people learn different ways, right? Some people are book learners. Some people are on the field learners. You a guy that wants to do it, and that's kind of how it clicks?
Yeah, I got to rep it. And the more reps I get, the better it is for me. So.
How do you picture your role in this offense? Slot guy, doing a little bit of everything? Where do you see yourself fitting in?
Everything. I think that's just how I've been, my whole career is just being available and doing anything that they ask me to do. So learning the offense, I kind of learned every position, same with special teams. So it's been good. Coming
off last year, what were the things on your checklist, CJ Board, I want to get better at A, B, C, D?
Healthy. First, that was first and foremost, and that great training staff here that helped me get back to 100%. And then now it's just honing in on learning the playbook and just being available whenever they need me.
What was that rehab process like for you last year? Because that was nasty injury, man.
It was. It was long. It was a long one, and like I said, the training staff here is awesome. Lee Wise is great. He helped me throughout my recovery, and I think I came back even stronger.
All right, how about special teams? You know what a great special teams play you are.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to Casey Kreider, and he told me that this scheme, it's actually a little bit different than what you did before, which kind of surprised me because you figure Thomas Big A, he back, it's going to be very similar.
Yeah.
What kind of different things are we going to be looking at here?
Just being more aggressive in the kicking game, covering kicks and getting back to that number one special teams, covering kicks and playing hard and just making plays overall in the special teams game.
What makes a good gunner?
Speed, for sure. Speed and just being decisive. Just when you're at the line, it's tough because it's two guys on one, so you have to make a decision. You have to go with it and just play fast. That's the best advice I can give to anyone.
Now let me ask you this from a technique perspective, because it seems impossible to me. How do you beat the two blockers, run down the field full speed, yet still locate the ball so you can try to knock out of the end zone so it doesn't get in there? What's your technique so that you do, because you can get down there. If you don't locate the ball, the whole first part of it doesn't mean anything, right?
That comes with a couple of things. It's trusting the punter to kick it to where he's supposed to, so a left or right punt, and then just like I said, just using your speed or my speed to the best advantage that I have, and it just comes with reps. It's one of those things where you just got to do it. So then instincts kick in. So you're not really thinking too much. You're kind of just playing at that point.
How do you figure out when the punt returner is trying to okie dokie it with like the fake catch, so they think they're catching it?
Those are things that we practice every day in practice. So it's just getting those looks and studying film and understanding the returner's tendencies. When he's going to do that. If he's someone who fake catches and blocks you. So those are just things that you study beforehand.
Finally, give me some personality. What is it like being with Coach Dable and Coach Kafka and kind of learning from them?
It's awesome. High energy guys. they create a real fun atmosphere for us that's full of just, like I said, full of energy and full of just overall commitment to the team. And it's been great so far, I think.
I've been told they're fun, they're relaxed, but
Yeah.
you also don't want to mess around. Like there was something in practice the other day where a couple things happened Dable wasn't happy with, and he's like, all right, done.
Yep.
He was dropping some language, and he's
Yeah.
like, that's not how we do things here.
Yeah.
So how do they balance that? We're having fun, but at the same time, we're not taking any, at the same time.
Well, at the end of the day, we're all professionals, so we like to have fun, but we have to get our job done.
Of course.
So I think like I said, they create a great atmosphere here, and that invites us to be who we are and to express, the way that we want to express it. But at the same time, emotions get high, so it's one of those things where we got to be on our top game.
CJ, good stuff, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now we're joined by Giants rookie wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson. Wan'Dale, how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm doing well.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, sir. Finally
So
good.
we had Sterling Shepard here. He's been in the league for 6 years, and he said, John, this offense, there's a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah.
How has it been for you trying to learn this thing over the last 2 months?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot coming from a system like the Rams and having learned a lot already. So I was already kind of used to having to know a lot and having to learn a lot. So I've just been excited to learn everything and just dive right in.
So while there's a lot, does that mean there's also a lot for you to get to do that's exciting?
Oh yeah, for sure. I get to move around a lot and do a lot of different things, which I like to do. So just being able to move around and be a versatile piece in our offense.
Now, for people that watch you in your two different spots in college, you did two very different things.
Yep.
The way Coach Dable seems to be using you, is this going to be like Voltron, where you're like combining the like two collegiate versions into like one NFL player?
I mean, yeah, I would say so. I mean, I can do all of those things, and now it's just putting it all together, and whatever Coach Dable and Coach Calf put together in the game plan and whatever they want me to do, I'll be able to do it. So.
Now, a lot of the pre-snap motion we're seeing in practice is a lot of collegiate type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about, for Giant fans, we haven't seen a lot of pre-snap motion here before, how that kind of opens things up for an offense.
It just allows you to get a lot of more one-on-ones and getting a lot of space, create mismatches for the defense. They have to communicate and things like that. So whenever you're moving and playing fast, defenses can't communicate, and you get a lot of big plays out of that. So.
Now, have you been doing most of your work as a wideout in the slot, or you've been doing a lot of stuff outside too?
I've been working just about everywhere. Not just one little spot or anything like that. They're putting me in all different spots. There's one day I might line up a little bit more in the backfield than I do in the slot, or I might line up in the slot a little bit more than somewhere else. So just keeping me on my toes and just making sure I'm learning everything.
And a lot of people think about you, given your size, like, oh, he's like a gadget receiver coming out of college, which, by the way, if you actually go back and watch what you did at Kentucky, you were used as the primary outside wide receiver. You were just a wide receiver. You weren't a gadget guy. So do you feel like that gets overlooked as part of your game a little bit because of the way people kind of view you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think once you really watch me play, you just see that I'm a football player, and at the end of the day, I just feel like I just need the ball in my hands, and however that happens, good things are going to happen. So.
Well, just from a technique perspective, what's the difference? How is your approach different being in the slot or versus being outside?
There's really no different. At the end of the day, you got to get open. That's really the only way you're going to get the ball for the quarterback to give you a chance, and that comes with practice and just things like that, getting the trust of your quarterbacks and just him giving you those chances to go out there and make plays. So.
You more comfortable on either spot at this point, or you could not care less?
I couldn't care less. I'm comfortable everywhere.
You just want the ball, right?
Yeah, I just like the ball in my hands, and I've done just about everything for so long. I've just gotten comfortable in a lot of different spots, so it allows me to go out there and just play fast. So.
No, I know Sterling hasn't been able to be on the field to do his rehabbing his Achilles, but your guys' skill sets seem to overlap a lot, right? The way you can have success. You've probably done a little bit more backfield stuff than he has, but in terms of him, slot, outside, body types are somewhat similar too. How much has he been able to teach you and to kind of help move you along so you're ready to go when you have a chance to get on the field in the summer?
I mean, he's helped me a lot. Just coming off the field at practice, and he just sees any little thing or something like that. He's just helping me out and just giving me all the little tips and bits and pieces that he's already had just with the couple years that he's been in the NFL. So he's just been a really good mentor to already have. So.
What's your plan for the next 6 weeks or so? So when you come back, you're ready to roll.
Shoot, same thing that we're doing now. Just working out, staying in shape, and diving into the playbook. So,
Wan'Dale, can't wait to see it. Good stuff, man.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Great conversations. We thank the guys for joining us on this episode of the Giants Huddle podcast. I'm John Schmeelk. Remember to stay tuned, folks. Make sure you go back into the archive, find all the episodes. It's really good insight from all these players. They give you a really good feel for what this Giants offensive and defensive systems are going to be and where the team is heading into training camp. I'm John Schmeelk. Stay tuned to the Giants Huddle podcast. We'll see you next time.